Hey everyone, and welcome back to the sports section. So if it wasn't clear by now, Chelsea are in need of more attacking players. Not just young players, but players that walk in the team and have an instant impact. Players with experience. I'm sick and tired of hearing names of players that are 19, 18, 20 years old that have done nothing throughout their careers and have a huge price on their head. Makes no sense. We keep on signing these younger players that will potentially be good players in a couple of years' time. The problem is we need players today. We need players that score goals today. We need players that can assist today because this season is extremely crucial. Imagine 2 seasons without Champions League football. Horrible. Terrible for the club, terrible financially, terrible for future potential transfers as well. So, what are we doing about it? Now, I know some people will say, oh, it's just 2 games, give Jackson some time. By the way, this is not only Jackson's fault. Yes, it has been only 2 games. That's fine. We've had some injuries as well, because usually there will be Nkunku there, but Nkunku will only join us for the second part of this season. So there is a problem. And no, I'm not willing to bet our season on Armando Broja, who was injured for a long, long time. He's still young. So no, sorry to say, I'm not willing to bet top 4 on just Jackson and Broja for the whole season. Now coming back to the argument of this has only been 2 games. No, this has not been only 2 games. This has been a couple of seasons by now. Actually, since Hazard, Fabregas and Diego Costa, we have not yet found a triangle, a trifecta of good attacking creative force. Yes, we did win the Champions League. In my opinion, that was a fluke. But let's be honest here. We have spent so much money on so many players that add 0. Most of them have already left the club. Some are still rotting at the club because nobody wants to buy them right now because they have a big mouth. Lukaku. And then there is the younger players that have also cost us $100 million or so, called Mudryk, where, believe it or not, I never believed in that guy. I don't know why we paid so much, but hey, he's here. Okay, he's here. Does he have potential? Maybe, but I've lost my patience a long, long time ago. Now, moving forward, because there's no point of looking what happened before, how do we move forward, right? What's going on right now? Well, apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, we're now looking to sign a player that can play as a number 10 and play as a winger as well. Now, I wonder, didn't we have a player like that last season? A very, very talented player with experience, and he's young as well? I mean, a player by the name Joao Felix, right? Rings a bell? We had the opportunity to sign him, right? He was on loan, we had the opportunity to sign him. Somehow, someone at the club did not want to sign him. Why? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. He's exactly, and I mean exactly, pinpoint what we need. Talent, young, experience, and he loves the club. We love him. Well, most fans do. So I don't really see why. It's a Chelsea thing, I guess. When things are so obvious, we just don't go for it. Then the second thing, the swap with Juventus. Lukaku to Juventus, Vlahovic to Chelsea, and we need to pay a bit more money. Okay, the club doesn't want to pay 40 million extra. But the club were willing to pay over 115 for Caicedo, over 105 for Enzo, and 100 or something for Mudryk, all the add-ons included. But to get a clinical striker, a goal getter, a goal machine actually, if you look at his history in Serie A, which isn't that long because he's still very young, he's exactly what we need. A striker that scores. Yesterday for Juventus, goal and assist. Yes, the goal is a penalty, which again goes back to the point of the other video, right? You give the penalties to your strikers. So they build confidence, they continue the momentum, right? You don't give it to random players. You give it to the striker. To me, it's ridiculous. Broja, Felix would add so much value and experience to this team, would solve the majority of our issues today. Creation and finishing. You get both of that with those two players. And Vlahovic is left-footed as well, which means you can always play him on the right if you need to, or with two strikers as well. He does that at Juventus. Sometimes they do Chiesa, Vlahovic, both of them at the top. But hey, it's Chelsea, and clearly, even though we did sign lots of players, exciting, blah, 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 clearly we don't know how to build up a squad right now. Because if you look at who we're linked with, Balogun, Brennan Johnson, 50 million, I mean, what? Really? We're willing to go to those types of players? But when we get the opportunity to sign Vlahovic and Joao Felix, no. Sorry. No can do. I mean, who's in charge there? I don't really understand. Is this some kind of joke? Is this a comedy? Is there a camera that sits behind the bush or something? Because it really gets to a point where it's just impossible to imagine that the people in charge actually agree with all these decisions. I mean, us, the fans, most of us at least that watch the games and don't watch the games through social media's eyes, understand what the issues are, understand that certain players are not up for the challenge, understand that certain transfer targets are not good enough for this club. So why can't the people in charge see it? Good question, and leave your answers down in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.